You've been told that overthinking is a flaw, that you need to stop it, meditate more, distract yourself. But what if I told you that overthinking isn't a flaw? It's your brain doing exactly what it evolved to do, just in the wrong context. The real reason you overthink isn't anxiety. It's not a character flaw. It's your brain's default mode network, a survival system that evolved to run complex social simulations. And it's running at full speed on problems that don't need that much horsepower. The DMN was discovered by neuroscientist Marcus Raichle over 2 decades ago. And once you understand what it actually does, you'll never see overthinking the same way again. In the next 9 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how this system works, why it's actually a sign of creative potential, and, most importantly, how to redirect that cognitive horsepower instead of trying to shut it down. But first, you need to understand why stop overthinking is the wrong advice entirely. The standard advice is everywhere. Just stop overthinking. Be more mindful. Distract yourself. You pick up a menu and your brain starts running scenarios. What if I don't like it? What if it's too expensive? What if everyone judges my choice? 10 minutes later, you're exhausted and you haven't ordered. And this advice seems logical. Overthinking does feel bad. It does exhaust you. So stopping it should help, right? The problem is that stop overthinking treats the symptom like the disease. It's like telling someone with a Ferrari that the solution to their speeding tickets is to drive slower, without asking why they have a Ferrari engine in the first place. Here's what changes everything. Neuroscientist Marcus Raichle, writing in 2001, discovered a brain network that's more active when you're not focused on tasks than when you are. He called it the default mode network. And it's not a flaw, it's a feature. This network evolved to run social simulations, predict threats, and solve survival problems. Your ancestors who could imagine, what if a predator comes from that direction, survived. Those who couldn't, didn't. So if the DMN is a survival system, why is it making you panic about pasta sauce? I call this the overthinking cascade. 3 stages that happen in every overthinking spiral. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. Stage 1 is the trigger. Stage 2 is the simulation loop. And stage 3, this is where most people get trapped, is the exhaustion trap. Stage 1 happens in a split second. A low-stakes decision, where to eat, what to wear, whether to send that text, activates your brain's high-stakes processing system. Your DMN, which evolved to track predators and navigate social hierarchies, treats pasta or pizza like fight or flight. It's not the decision that's exhausting. It's the mismatch between the decision's actual stakes and the processing power your brain throws at it. Stage 2 is where most overthinkers live. Your brain starts running simulations. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if I choose wrong? What if they judge me? What if I'm making a mistake? Dr. Kalina Christoff, in a 2016 review in Nature Reviews Neuroscience, found that the DMN generates what she calls spontaneous thought processes. Essentially, your brain running scenario variations without your permission. Here's what most people don't realize. This simulation loop? It's the same neural mechanism that drives creative insight. Your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's treating every decision like a creative problem to solve. The exhaustion comes from running creative-level cognitive processes on decisions that don't need creative solutions. Think about it. Your brain running dozens of scenario variations on a single lunch decision. The same cognitive machinery Christoff's team found supports creative insight. Running analysis on pasta versus pizza. Dozens. For lunch. Stage 3 is the trap. Your cognitive resources are depleted. You've run simulation after simulation. You've evaluated every angle, and now you can't decide at all. The cruel irony? The more you think, the less capable you become of thinking clearly. Dr. Moshe Bar, in his 2022 book, Mind Wandering, describes the DMN as a prediction engine, constantly generating predictions about future scenarios based on past experiences. In overthinkers, this engine never shuts off. It's like having a supercomputer running at full power. To calculate tips, your brain evolved to track predators across savannas. Now it's deciding between pasta and pizza. No wonder you're exhausted. But here's the key insight. This system isn't broken, it's misdirected. You have a Formula One engine being used for grocery runs. Which stage do you get stuck in most? These aren't character flaws. They're the result of a survival system running at full speed in a world that doesn't need that much protection. If you're in stage 2 or 3, you're not weak. You have a brain that's treating every decision like survival. The issue isn't your brain. It's the mismatch between your brain's power and your environment's demands. The cultural narrative says overthinkers are anxious, indecisive, broken. But the neuroscience says something different. Overthinkers are people with hyperactive creative engines that never learn to idle properly. Philosopher Blaise Pascal wrote centuries ago that all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. He wasn't criticizing our weakness. He was identifying exactly what we're describing. A brain that cannot stop simulating, predicting, preparing. So if stopping the engine isn't the answer, what is? The goal isn't to stop overthinking. The goal is to redirect that cognitive horsepower into channels that can actually use it. Overthinking isn't a coping strategy gone wrong. It's a creative engine running without a load. Here are 3 specific ways to redirect that DMN energy. Step 1. The simulation container. Give your brain a designated time and place for simulations. Instead of letting your DMN run constantly, schedule worry time or decision time. 15 minutes where you intentionally run scenarios. Your brain gets the simulation it craves, but on your schedule, not constantly. Try this. Set a timer for 15 minutes before bed to worry or plan. When the timer ends, visualize putting those thoughts in a box and closing it. Step 2. The creative load. Channel that cognitive horsepower into creative projects that actually benefit from deep simulation. Writing, strategic planning, design work. These activities give your DMN something productive to simulate. Start a journaling practice. Give your simulation engine a useful outlet instead of letting it run on idle. Step 3. The decision filter. Before your brain starts simulating, ask, does this decision actually benefit from dozens of scenario variations? If the answer is no, if it's pasta versus pizza, practice making the decision in 30 seconds. Set a timer. Trust your first instinct. You're not being impulsive, you're being efficient. If this framework changed how you see your own overthinking loops, subscribe. We do psychological deep dives like this every week. One warning, don't try to suppress the simulations. That just creates rebound. Your DMN will fight harder. The research on thought suppression is clear. Trying not to think about something makes you think about it more. You're not shutting down the engine. You're putting it in gear. And that brings us to the most important question. 3 stages. The trigger, where low-stakes decisions activate high-stakes processing. The simulation loop, where your creative engine runs scenarios. And the exhaustion trap, where depletion meets paralysis. The reframe. You're not anxious. You have a hyperactive creative engine that needs redirection, not suppression. You came in thinking overthinking was a flaw you needed to eliminate. Now you know it's a feature you need to redirect. That engine in your head? The one that's been exhausting you with endless scenarios? That's the same engine that can create, strategize, and solve complex problems. It's not broken. It just needs the right load. Which stage do you get stuck in most? Drop it in the comments and tell me, what's the smallest decision that sends you into the simulation loop? And if your brain's simulation engine is running this hot, there's another system you should know about. The one that makes you go silent when you're overwhelmed. That's the next piece.